Welcome back guys to a brand new series. This is the empinated and I'm going to show you how to create a selection screen inspired by the first Plants vs Zombies. Ready to join your ongoing project? I will use a list of fruits to guide you through, but the idea is to use it as anything your project is about: casting spells, select reinforcements, or power up badges. It's completely customizable as you add any quantity of rows and columns depending on your own approach. In this first episode, we're focusing on the UI elements of the project, such as the selection screen and the single item slot. Let's get started. Let's begin with the creation of the UI. Right-click, User Interface, Widget Blueprint. Name it Selection Screen and open it up. Drag a canvas panel as the top component. Next, drag a vertical box and set its size to 1500 in X and 1000 in Y. This to fill the majority of the screen because we want to still see the level in the background. Next, add a border child of the vertical box. Name it Inventory. Set its size to fill 0.25 of the space and align horizontally to the left. Then duplicate the border and name it Selection. Just change its size to fill the other 0.75 of the screen vertically. Drag a vertical box to each border. Place a text inside the inventory section. Put inventory as the content. You can add an outline size here. Now add border to act as the inner frame with an overlay inside to place multiple components. Inside the inner frame, put a horizontal box. Check is variable to save a reference inside the graph. Name it Box Inventory. Set both alignments to the center. Add 10 points of padding to the left. Finally, add some padding to the inner frame, 20 to the left, right and bottom, and 0 to the top to create an offset from the outer frame. Now duplicate the inner frame we have just created inside the selection border to make things easier. Drop the single vertical box. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Change this text to choose your items just like in Plants vs Zombies. Adjust the top padding to something like 5 points. Drag a vertical box inside this overlay and reorder box inventory 1 to be inside this box. Rename to box items as this will work as the first row for the shown items. Now change the name of this box to box items. Alter the bottom padding to 15 as well as the vertical alignment to top. It is already checked as is variable. And duplicate 3 times to get the main 4 rows in our selection menu. Finally, add a button to start the level. Name it Button Start. Set the size to fill and the horizontal alignment to center. Copy the text component from above. Type Let's Rock. Delete the last 2 values from padding to set automatically 0 to the left and right, and 5 to top and bottom. Center both alignments. Get back to the button to set its vertical alignment to bottom. Next, select the vertical box and set both alignments to fill. Now it's time to color. And we are done with the selection screen. Next, let's create the item slot to fill the selection menu. Name it item slot and open it up. Search for a size box and drag it to the hierarchy as the top. Change the view mode to desired on screen to see its actual size. Select width and height and set both to 120 pixels. Drag inside an overlay to insert multiple components. Followed by an image that will act as an empty slot. Set fill to both directions. Select the blank icon as the default. Add a border inside the overlay and set the horizontal alignment to fill and vertical alignment to bottom. Now add a text component inside the border to display the price of the current element. Check its variable and name it price. Type 0 as a placeholder. If you want, add an outline and change the font size. Also justify the center. Check its variable inside the border and rename it to quantity. Back in txt price, change the font size to 20. Finally, add a button to the overlay to act as the trigger. Name it bottom item and fill both ways in order to cover the entire area of the slot. Lastly, change its background alpha to 0 to make it invisible. Now it's time to color this one. Now, back in selection screen, go to the graph to clear the unused events. Just keep the event construct. Before continuing, we need a game instance for our project. Now we are going to create a new controller instance, myController. Select it as the active inside the game mode. We will use those in a second. Back in selection screen, this time inside the graph, in event construct, use the node get to obtain the game instance and cast it to my game instance to save a reference of it in a variable. Use the same logic to obtain a myController reference and a character reference. Next, drag the myController reference and set the show mouse cursor as true and the input mode to UI only in order to be able to select our items with our cursor visible during runtime. While the selection screen is active, we are not going to be able to move the character with this setup. Next, go to the character blueprint and add a sequence node in the begin play. In the second output, connect a create widget node. Select the selection screen blueprint inside class. And connect an add to viewport node to display on screen. To be able to move the character after finishing the selection of items, back in the selection screen, select the on-click event of button start and connect the node set input mode game and UI with a controller reference connected to the pin player controller. From the same reference, get a show mouse cursor node and set it to true to still be able to see it on screen. Finally, use remove from parent to drop off screen the selection menu when the button is pressed. Let's test it. So yeah, it's working as expected. It starts with the cursor and when pressing let's rock it goes away. I know guys, it looks weird right now, but it is completely normal due to its emptiness. In the next episode, we are going to insert as many item slots as the length of our item list and fill our inventory bar with empty slots. See you in the next part. Like and subscribe for more.